Bad weather? Myles Garrett? Faithful, I got concerns. Let's get it. Welcome to the Cayman's Island podcast, where we talk all things San Francisco 49ers. I'm your host, David Cayman, and in today's show, we'll be previewing the San Francisco 49ers versus the Cleveland Browns at Huntington Bank Field. It's going to be a 1 o'clock Eastern time start in this one, guys, and I'm just going to start off by saying let's go ahead and address two elephants in the room real quick off the top of this show. First and foremost, Myles Garrett, man. He is once again playing at a defensive player of the year level and wreaking havoc on teams. And I really would like to break down statistically what he's done thus far to really try to drive home this point of why I think he almost by himself can wreck our entire offense, okay? Number one, he's able to be effective on both sides of the line. He can move to the left side, the right side. I've even seen him switch and be in the middle of the line and just absolutely wreck a run game on his own. This means, guys, that Colton McKivitz and Trent Williams will have their work cut out for them this Sunday for sure. I feel like just based on what I've seen this year, Colton McKivitz has not done bad. I think we would all agree when we assess and we look at the stats, we look at the analytics, and even the eye test pass, Colton McKivitz hasn't done terrible. There's been a few times I've seen him blown up. One time in particular against Will Anderson against Houston, man, where he just got speed and bull rush off his side, man. But that's a good pass rusher, right? You're definitely not going to win them all. But I would definitely say he's played at an above average level. He's definitely done better than I thought he was going to do. And then on the other side, you have Trent Williams. And listen, even old Trent is still top 10 at his position in the league. But as he's aged, dealing with the Myles Garrett, that power, that speed all game, he's going to win a few of those reps, guys. It is what it is. Now, statistically, listen to this. So far, Myles Garrett has 18 sacks before coming into this game. I want to repeat that. The man has 18 sacks, faithful. The San Francisco 49ers football team has 16. This man has 2 more sacks than our entire football team. Now, I know you think we can't rush the passer at all, but still, guys, this man is statistically outperforming our team by himself. He's got 26 tackles for loss. He has 14 sacks in a 5-game span. That's the most in NFL history. He's got multiple multi-sack games, super high pressure rate, can win. I've seen the man win on like back-to-back snaps, even with being chipped. I feel like that's going to cause a nightmare for San Francisco on a few fronts. Number one, we are very much a rhythm, timing-based offense where a lot of what we do is predicated on scheme and block and zone. And if that is knocked out of timing, knocked out of rhythm, it can throw things off and very much in a hurry. If you have a situation where you have George Kittle chipping on every single play and not being able to get off the line in time, that rhythm gets disrupted when we're trying to run a screen pass to CMC. Things can get out of hand relatively quickly. So this is something that the Niners are going to have to scheme for. And I put a lot of thought into this, and it's probably not the best of ideas. It's probably why I'm not an offensive coordinator. But if the man is whipping you, if the man is just beating you, I'd run right at him. I'd make him work for every single thing. If he wants to win Defensive Player of the Year in this game alone and have a 5-sack game and 10 total tackles for loss or something, I'd make him earn it. I'd run right at him and try to tire him out as best I can. Have Chip run left and put Myles over there to that left side and just have that man earn his paycheck and see what happens. I would run, I would screen, I would chip. I would throw to George. I would put all the pressure on his side and constantly make him think the whole game. That is what I would do in hopes of slowing that man down. And honestly, if there was an area, McKivitz has had some inconsistent reps versus those elite pass rushers and those speed rushers. And as good as Trent is, man, he struggles a bit more with the body type and skill set of a Myles Garrett. It is what it is. This isn't 5 years ago Trent Williams that's out there. If you have to leave in extra blockers, that's going to put less opportunities for wide receivers. I think that my man Kyle Juszczyk, is going to have a significant role in this game. I almost feel as though he's going to have a really big screen, a really big third down play down the field, hopefully where we can disguise some things and get him open deep downfield on a play action pass or something like that. But let's get into the other elephant in the room, the bad weather, okay? I've seen reports where it's supposed to rain, snow leading up to the game. I'm hopeful that we don't have a situation where it's snowing like crazy, raining like crazy at the start of the game, because now we'll get into the second elephant in the room, and that's Brock Purdy. Okay, now, want to give the disclaimer. I'm a pro Brock Purdy guy. No excuse for what he did last week. That was terrible. That is not NFL caliber play. Brock even admitted to that himself. He went back, studied the film like I knew he would. I know he got back in the lab and has put in all the study, all the work, all the reps that he needs to learn from this and be more effective. But I've said it. I said it 2 shows ago. I'll say it this show. I need for Brock to be more consistent. It can't be I throw 3 touchdowns, no turnovers, a bunch of turnovers, 1 touchdown. We need, in order to win this game, guys, because I believe Myles Garrett is such an X factor, we just need to not turn the ball over, stay ahead of the chains. If it's snowing like crazy, super windy, and just miserable, here's a crazy idea. Run the ball. 1st, 2nd, 3rd down if you have to. It gets blown up. Oh, sounds like it's punt time and play field position. Our special teams in the return game has looked very nice over the last few weeks. I do worry about Matt Gay, just because if Matt Gay was so great, he'd be on a team right now and not the 49ers. And he's had some struggles this season. So I know that he made his last 2 kicks, but this is not Eddie Pinheiro, right? Eddie Pinheiro's not walking through that door, man. So is it going to come down to a Matt Gay field goal in this one? I would hope not, but I'll save my prediction until the end. Stay with me. So let's talk about Brock Purdy and the inclement weather situation throughout his career. Not to mention, if we're just looking at what we're saying, and maybe I'm crazy, maybe I've bumped my head, but when I watch Brock, I see hesitancy. I see that he's hesitant planting his right foot, especially on deeper drops. Turf toe injuries are absolutely notorious for lingering and affecting like push off, torque, lower body accuracy, even confidence in staying in the pocket and being mobile and move around. Now, Brock did have a pretty nice scramble last game, even hit him with a little dance, and that's all good and nice and all, but there were still times where I seen him trying to move around, and that quickness just doesn't seem to be completely there or completely back. And I don't think it will be this year. Could it also be upstairs? When he was rolling on that first drive last week and everything was good, you can hit him with a little dance and everything. But then when you randomly throw these bad passes and start throwing these picks, then all of a sudden you're in your headspace. And Brock is an extremely successful processor of the field. And I've had some concerns with, are we going to get back to seeing a consistent Brock? I think about it like this. If I'm Brock Purdy, and again, I'm just a man, and I don't know what is in this man's headspace, but look at the season you're coming off of in 24. Obviously, it wasn't your best. It was nothing like 2023. You've got a situation where there's questions about your health. You just got paid $53 million a year. Are you pressing? Are you trying to live up to that deal? Are you trying to play almost outside of your normal scope just because you're trying to prove something? Once again, you've gotten hurt. You've missed several games. Mac Jones having success. Is all that kind of closing in a bit on top of the man's not 100% and he's also trying to press? Like I said, I'm not in Brock's mind, man, but I pray that he can get back in the right headspace and he can get back to that confidence. Because it's like this here, man. The guy is a gunslinger. I like it. I don't mind at all somebody trying to push the ball down the field. I don't even mind taking a risk here or there. But what we saw last week just isn't it. And that's coming from a guy who really supports and really likes Brock Purdy. But you got to keep it real. It is what it is. Brock's got to play better. If that man messes around and plays like that in Cleveland, he will not make it through the end of the game. And what I mean by that, I don't mean that he's getting injured from a Myles Garrett sack. I'm saying if he comes out there in the first quarter and throws 2 picks, you got to go to Mac Jones, man. And I don't even want to say that out loud. Last thing I want is a quarterback controversy. The 49ers have such a big following of fans, guys. There are so many creators and content out there where the Niners are a big topic of conversation when we're doing good, when we're doing bad. This would only be another thing, another wrinkle. We've already gone through this Brandon Ayuk stuff the past week. And the team was trying to have a drama-free offseason and a drama-free season. And unfortunately this year, with it being more wide open than ever, our whole team wants to go and get hurt. Okay, so Brock in bad weather games, getting back to that. So across 4 career rain, snow, wet ball-ish games, this man's completing 52.2% completion percentage, a 66.3 passer rating, and I believe at least 2 fumbles across these games. That's not good. It's not good at all. So naturally, folks, analysts, talking heads, they're going to look at this and they're going to say, man, can Brock just not grip the ball when there's inclement weather? Is this the type of quarterback that should have received a contract that pays $53 million per year? I'll say this. I know Brock can do it. We've seen it. Even when we lost to Cleveland a few years ago, he didn't have a great game. He had 2 picks, a touchdown. There were some struggles there, man. He was floating the ball. But in the gotta have it drive, man. He drove the ball down the field, got us in position to kick a field goal that what I would consider a bunny, a give me, a kick that in this league an NFL kicker should make. Who kicked that field goal? I think we know. The man, the myth, the legend, thou who shall not be named, Jake Moody. I'm just saying. So in this one, guys, let's talk about what I think, how this is going to go down, and I'm going to tell you my score prediction in this one. I think in order to win this game, protect the ball. Kyle Shanahan, my brother, please, Kyle. Don't do any silly trickeration stuff, 4 motions, use check line up at quarterback and sneak or fake sneak to a pitch. Look, man, it doesn't. Kyle, for whatever reason, once or twice a game has this, I want to show the world that I'm the greatest play designer in NFL history. And look, when Kyle's in his bag, watch out. I'll give it to the man. I know we want to beat him up for choking in these Super Bowls and all this stuff, but if we just take Kyle at face value, there are easily 20 teams, man, that we could trade Kyle to for some first-round picks. I can assure you that if the San Francisco 49ers put a post on X right now that said, hey, after this season, we've decided to do a regime change, and we're putting Kyle Shanahan out there on the market, they get calls today. One would argue calls for multiple first-round picks. And there's a reason, because when that man is in his bag, the man is in his bag. A lot of people wonder, man, what would Kyle do with a Josh Allen? What would Kyle do with a Patrick Mahomes? Probably average 45 points a game and blow a Super Bowl. Just kidding. Just joking. No, but I really do feel that way. But yeah, this game in particular, run the ball, run the ball. Here's an idea. Who averages more yards per carry? CMC or Brian Robinson? It's probably a good idea to mix that man in a little bit more. I would run the ball. right at Myles Garrett, man. And look, if he's that dude and he just blows us up and we punt and we lose the game because of that, I'm completely fine with that. What I'm not fine with is Brock Purdy throwing 5 interceptions, getting benched. They blame it on the toe. Quarterback controversy all through the offseason. That's the nonsense that we don't want. It would be really nice in this game to have Jawan Jennings bat down a bad pass in a windy snow game, or, I don't know, not fumble the ball and then have to make up for his mistake later. It would be really nice to not have George Kittle have to be a blocker the whole game and make some plays. But the reality is, this is going to be a nasty game, guys. I know Shadur Sanders is getting his first home start. There's going to be a lot of emotion. And listen, and I know a lot of people want to beat up on the kid. If you give him time, he has an NFL caliber arm and can make NFL caliber throws. It's going to be slippery out there. It's going to be slick. I really feel from a pass rush perspective, that really helps out the defensive line when you're talking about this. So it's going to be ugly and it's going to be a slugfest. Put 2 hands on the ball, run forward with a head of steam, gain those 3 yards, average those 3.7 yards per carry, San Francisco. Hey, do it. Maybe you'll get a few first downs out of it. Maybe you'll tire them down in that fourth quarter and can pull out a victory. But I'm going to be honest, I don't feel good about this game whatsoever. I'm absolutely a 49ers fan, diehard, my whole football watching life, period. But I also have to be realistic. Brock, in my opinion, has never looked good in bad weather. He's never looked good. Coming off of what he did last week, I don't feel super optimistic about it at all. I'm worried about Matt Gay making a big-time kick in a big-time moment. I'm not really concerned about the defense. I think that just how bad Cleveland is on offense combined with what Robert Saleh can do situationally, work fine there. This game comes down to Cleveland's defense versus San Francisco's offense. And I'm faithful. I know this is not going to be popular, but I have us losing this game 13-10. I really feel like we're going to struggle to move the ball. We've seen the sample size all year long. We've seen the sample size. This is who we are. We don't get very many rushing yards per carry. Cleveland all of a sudden isn't just going to be bad on defense. This is who the 49ers are. We're going to have to be patient. Kyle is going to have to scheme a really simple game plan that we can stick to regardless. We cannot be behind the chains. We can't do random end arounds to Ricky Pearsall that net a negative 2-yard loss. We cannot do stuff like that. We have got to push forward, okay? And I don't even care if that push forward is 1-2 yards per carry. You keep doing that. You stick to that, especially with the inclement weather, and you just see how it goes. Don't do anything ridiculous to give Cleveland free points. And you will put yourself in a position come the end of the game to have an opportunity to pull out the win at the end. Yeah, tell me what you guys think in the comments. Do you think I'm being a little bit too hard? Do you have any other types of score predictions? Again, mine's 13-10. Unfortunately, Cleveland Browns. That's just when I look at everything, that's where I feel this game is going to go. Yeah, but tell me what you guys think in the comments. As always, if you enjoyed the show today, please remember to like and subscribe. It definitely helps out the channel. And as always, take care and be blessed.